Joining me now on the Daily Ledger Page 5 beat from Southern California, President of Wilsey Asset Management, Brent Wilsey. Brent, I have to chuckle as I ask you this. Do you believe what that reporter is saying, that suddenly CEOs don't like Donald Trump after all the things he did, lowering their taxes, repatriating billions of dollars back to the United States? The stock market's still looking pretty good, pretty solid. And oh, by the way, deregulating like a fiend. You believe this?
Of course not, Graham. And it's just one person's opinion. And the CEOs, they might have like little things like, gee, we wish things were better in China than they are and so forth. I mean, you always want more being the CEO. You got to get those profits up. But overall, no, I would say no, that would not be a concern. It's just kind of funny, as you said, to kind of laugh at that.
Now, as you know, the markets are driven by fear and greed, and it seems as though some people right now look at the stock markets and just see fear for the sake of fear. And we keep hearing this talk of recession. But when you look at the fundamentals and you look at these numbers every day, the numbers are just not adding up to recession, are they?
I'm so glad you asked me that, Graham, because what they're saying is there's a slowdown in the growth, not a recession. I mean, we may go from the global economy, talk about that one as well, our economy. They're talking about a slowdown from maybe 3.7 to 3.5 on the global economy. Our economy may be at 3%, down maybe 2.8. Not a recession. This is a slowdown in growth. You're still growing. Please understand that, people.
Yeah. And then, J.P. Morgan CEO sent a memo to his workers, not talking about any kind of recession coming, but saying, hey, it's time to reopen the government. Well, I guess that memo got to Nancy Pelosi and the White House because now we have apparently the reopened government. Next year, though, here's a headline that really jumped out at me. Next year, the United States officially exports more energy than we import. That's a huge deal.
Oh, Graham, I'm so happy on this. And we got to credit research and development. We discovered fracking, the shale revolution. All this stuff is positive by investing money into industries that needed to have it. I mean, gosh, 2008, we produced 5 million barrels a day, now up to 11 million barrels per day. And next few years, we'll be at 14 million barrels per day. And that is not a short-term thing. That's going to last maybe 15, 17 years. So we're going to stay on this path. It's not a one-time thing. This is a long-term projection. Very good for oil and our economy and jobs here. Phenomenal things, Graham.
It's good for the economy. It's good for the prices at the pump, one would assume. But it's also good for our national security. So it's a win-win-win. And now we have the Federal Reserve maybe listening to Donald Trump a little bit and certainly trying to send the message out there, I think, Brent, when you look at the big picture, that the Federal Reserve is not this monolith, that it is trying to build in some flexibility in its decision-making?
Yeah, I mean, their estimate was like 1.5 trillion to 3 trillion. Now they're going to up it to 3.5 trillion on the balance sheet. I really hope they don't do that. I would like to have the balance sheet unwind a little bit quicker. But let's be patient with us here. And again, they said that. I mean, if we have to, we will do that. I hope we don't have to. We'll just let it unwind slowly. But it was a positive comment. Markets liked it. So it was pretty good on that side.
And interest rates, what are you thinking in terms of maybe going forward into February, March, and April, and into the spring? Do you think that it's going to be one of the situations where the Fed is just looking at the numbers and deciding then, or do you think it's predetermined?
Well, one thing about the government shutdown, I don't think we'll see interest rates rise in this first quarter for sure, because the economy should be a little bit slower because of that. I do still believe we'll have maybe one increase this year, but we got to wait and see what happens to the economy. It's chugging along very nicely. I think maybe 2.8, 2.9. No reason to increase interest rates on that type of growth. But maybe we'll get one this year based on current data.
And maybe we'll get those housing numbers. We're supposed to have a housing report today, but because of the government shutdown, we didn't get that, among other things. So hopefully we'll have that soon now that it appears to be reopened. Brent, thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.